This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Gerasch and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
I am Tony Gerasch.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So, Microsoft had a Copilot Business Premium bundle that was a pretty good deal, to get you in and start learning about it. I think it was supposed to end in March, but it was extended, if I'm not mistaken, till
June 30th.
June 30th. So, okay, that's cool. But, it was kind of like a drive, right, to get people into Copilot and doing things. And during that time, you do more of the sales, right, Tony? Mm-hmm. Did you see more of an adoption rate during that time? Were we selling a little more? Or?
Yeah, so, we're seeing actually, when you guys are seeing it too, we're seeing an adoption of Copilot. We're seeing more people using it, bundled with the business premium gives you a little price because there's like no breaks on it and the Copilot license for a year. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of people doing it. And then internally we're doing a lot with it, right? So we're actually... We do training, right?
Yeah.
So you and I did some training for a client. Ryan and I sat down with the client, and Ryan did half of it, and I did part of it, showing people, how to use Copilot. And we're not just talking about recording movies, right? We're talking about doing other things and creating agents, in having it be an assistant for you.
Yeah, and show you how the UI when you know it's safe and when you know it's not. The difference between free and paid. That's a big question. It seems like everyone asks that question. What's the difference between the free one and the one I just bought from you? So we kind of take them through that, and it's a pretty good presentation that Tony's put together. So it is something we offer to people. It's a free offering. We have other offerings where we'll do some agent programming and stuff for you too. So
yeah, and I guess the other thing too, if you're watching this and you're watching the thing and we're talking about agents and Copilot and stuff like that, and you're not a customer or you're are interested in this topic, you can leave a comment. We'll do one-on-one training with you to kind of show you what Copilot can do. Or if we had enough people interested, we could actually do a some type of webinar. But the idea behind the training is to actually tell you, what it can do and what it can't do, and how do you use it, and how to prompt it, and what other things do we talk about? The fence garden or the walled garden.
Yeah,
I call it a fence garden. You call it a walled garden.
Yeah.
But basically, tell me about your walled garden.
Your fence garden,
I call it a fence garden. You call it a walled garden.
Hey, it's a garden, right? It's your garden. It's where your data is.
I'm going to start calling it a moat.
Yeah. You put a moat around that garden, right?
Yeah,
it's your garden. It's your data. Is it getting out? Is people, is it training AIs? That's, we teach you that and how to know the differences and really what it takes to get into starting, because it's easy to do a little prompt, hey, what's the weather today? Something like that. Or can you draft an email for me? Or can you check my calendar? Those are great prompts. And then you really want to start getting into the agentic piece where you're having it actually do something for you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And we start teaching those basics to you.
Yeah, and then internally we have some a couple of AI consultants that are doing agents using they use Power Automate, and they're using Copilot Studio, and they're using all these little tools that Microsoft gives you to do things. So the idea behind it, right, is behind, if you want to, we need people with ideas of things they want to create, right? So us as a company want our customers or people to give us ideas. Hey, do you think we could do this with AI? And then we would tell you. So kind of spinning around is we have customers that we're doing these things for to help. They're like assistants. They're helping the admin staff or consultants or engineers or whatever be able to do something faster, more accurate, right, and save time. And so it's not really replacing the AI is not replacing a human. It kind of is. But it's helping them be more productive. It's something that would have taken, let's say you were doing a contract or something that would have maybe taken, 4, 5, 6 hours to do. You can now get the base of it done in, 2-3 minutes, and then read over it and fix what's not there.
Yeah, or create a template in PowerPoint. Make a really beautiful sales template in PowerPoint before you have your initial call with the person and you recorded that call. And then you just dump it into Copilot and say, hey, use this template and make me my sales presentation. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Yeah, and there is ways, right? So, and that's another thing that we offer. There's ways to create templates in SharePoint that are usable from your Microsoft Office suite, right? So you have these custom templates in there, and then you can use AI to generate PowerPoints or Word documents or whatever you want to create in templates. Use the AI to put it in there.
Yeah, that's fun.
But it was pretty funny because yesterday I was working. So I guess let me back up a minute. So a lot of our customers are trying to do this stuff themselves, and hey, we encourage that. So if you want to get Copilot and you want to do it yourself, and then you get stuck and you want us to help you, hey, we're all for that, right? So we charge extra for that, but it doesn't matter. So you can do a lot of this yourself, but when you get stuck, then you come to us.
Can I add on that?
Yeah, before I get into my thought.
So remember your thought real quick. So that's the beauty too of some of the stuff that you can do with some of these AI tools, right? Is that you can start asking it, how can I do this? And then it'll create that whole framework on how you want to do it. Maybe even give you the steps. I've seen it in like Claude Code to be able to do that. But then when it comes to executing those steps, so you've done all the legwork, right? But now you need to execute, and that's where some of our more advanced software engineers come in. The people that have learned how to do this, to go and create that server for you and then make it do all the fun stuff that it says to do, because we understand the back end work, and that's where we can help too. And we've actually had some good success there, helping people that have created their own marketing automation tool that we just help deploy it, get them past that finish line.
Yeah. So yesterday I was working with a marketing person in a company, and she had created some, we helped her get the SharePoint stuff all set up so she could have templates. She created some templates and stuff, and since she wanted to go use the templates, and she was using Copilot and PowerPoint, and for some reason, Copilot and PowerPoint can only see her OneDrive. It can't see the SharePoint. Well, that was odd, and I'm troubleshooting with her and trying and doing all this stuff, and then I just go ask Copilot, hey, why can't I see SharePoint in Copilot in PowerPoint? And they tell me it's not capable of doing that. It's not capable of doing that. And I said, are you sure? And I asked all kinds of questions, and it was painful, but you can't do it from there. Okay. So then the next thing we do, we go into Microsoft Word, and we say, okay, we have these Word templates. Can we see SharePoint from Word and use a Word template? And sure enough, you in the Word, you can see SharePoint. But in PowerPoint, you can't. It's just remarkable. And then I go back to AI. How come I can see it in Word, but I can't see it in PowerPoint? They give me this whole story. And I say, are you sure? And they give me the whole story again. So, it's like, it feels like, things are evolving. Like Microsoft is always changing things. But to go back to that, we were able to go back to Copilot on the web. There's Copilot.microsoft.com, hit the work, whatever. And I was able to say, hey, can you, do this or that, and it was able to do what she wanted to do.
Okay.
But yeah, so sometimes you might have to, it is what it is.
And it changes too.
It changes, right? So, and she swore that it worked last week and it didn't work this week, and it's very plausible.
Well, I've got a question mark over my head because I'm like, it works on my computer.
It works right now on your computer, but yesterday after she updated, it would not work.
I would have to test it.
We're gonna have to test it.
But then again, I'm using an Apple product.
Yeah,
too.
using Apple, but yeah. And I didn't really try it on mine. I was on her computer, and I was asking and asking and asking, and you hit the plus sign, and all you would see is her OneDrive. So, the workaround also for her was take the file from SharePoint, drop it in my OneDrive, and then you can do it. But the thing of it is when you upload a file, she's just trying to upload a file. Where does it go? Goes to your OneDrive.
Yeah.
That's the part, right? So she just wants to go get the plus sign, find a file she wants. It's going to put it in her OneDrive. But in PowerPoint, she couldn't see it. And I did the repair, and I did all this stuff. So, and who knows? Maybe there is some fix or something tomorrow to work, but the AI told me it wouldn't work.
No.
So, yeah, it's, and it's remarkable.
So you kept asking if it was sure, and
sometimes,
it
kept telling me, and then it started to list out which ones can do it and which ones can't do it. And, that's by design. And it was, but again, you say you can do it now. And she said she could do it last week, but in whatever current version, because we did a repair and stuff because...
I'm testing it as soon as we're done.
Yeah, when we're done, we could test it.
Oh,
but
yeah, I'm testing it when we're done.
See if you can see it. Yep.
So again, Microsoft has given you a little bit more to get that bundle and try things out.
Yeah.
So if you're looking into wanting to try Copilot, look into maybe the bundle. Tip of the week is I always say it is just to get started and try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think people should adopt, you guys get 1 or 2 licenses, adopt it, try it out. You could also use the different flavors, right? You can choose if you want to use, is that still true? You can choose if you want to use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever.
You can choose the different ones.
You could choose different AI engines inside of Copilot.
Yeah, because remember, Microsoft now finally is starting to say it, is that Copilot is the UI for AI instead of being AI itself. Like it's Microsoft's AI. They're saying it's the UI because they're using your ChatGPT or your Claudes, and then you can go even deeper. You can use AI Foundry and use almost any single model that you want. So it's out there for you to use. And going back to just trying to remember, I had a thought, but I lost it. So there it goes. Going back to trying it out is you just got to try it. That's all I can say. You just got to try it.
Yeah, you just have to try it. I mean, you can go in there and, you can create your own personal agents if you have the full version. I think it also gives you access to Copilot Studio, right? If you have the full version.
Yep. If you have the paid for version, you get Copilot Studio so that you can create
and that gives you a whole bunch of other add-ons inside of there that you can do. And then, you could also, start to use Power Automate and some of that stuff. And you can ask Copilot how to create this agent. Hey, I want to create an agent to do this for me. Is it possible? And it'll help you do it.
Yeah, it does. Start simple. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to say is that one thing that people kind of say, you kind of hear it, is that like AI is like a fad. It'll just go away. It's not. Like automation's always been there, right? And that's kind of what's driving the back end here on a lot of it. And then the AI piece, generative models are just getting better and better and better. I was talking to John earlier about stuff that he does with video creation and all that. So it's not going away. And if you as a business owner is not finding a way to tackle this, you could get left behind. And you could just be an aging business that doesn't move forward. If that's not what you want, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I've seen it that a lot of people, especially like in my age group, that are kind of in that business owner area, that's really what they're pushing on, is getting AI into their business and what it can do to drive it forward. We have people at our office that I have a council going of people to learn AI and then be able to go teach it to other people on our team. And today I figured out that these guys are trying too hard to create what they want. So they're waiting on certain things that'll never, ever happen for them to be able to do it. And you got to start small. And I had them create a simple agent today with just some mail stuff. And now they're starting to kind of get the realization that you got to start small and then build upon that, add your layers in as you go.
Yeah. And they're doing some cool stuff. And maybe we could even have another episode where we talk with them about how, they're using the AI to pop up messages in Teams, and when they're, getting, flooded with emails, right? So they can kind of help with their inbox.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. You should bring them in and just talk to them about, bring them in and let them talk about the agents that they created.
Where are we at, John? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour? 13:30. So I'm going to do 45 seconds on this. It's funny that you said that. Mm-hmm. Is the other day, I'm not going to name any names, but you sent an email out to someone that works for us and said, hey, and you need to send an email to these people for, that owe us, right? That haven't paid. Mm-hmm. You need to send an email to them. If they don't reply in 2 days or 3 days, I think it was, you need to follow up with them with another email and call them. Mm-hmm. So on the side, I said, hey, this person is part of our council. I said, this is the agent you need to make. Yeah. And then I got with it this morning, and the first thing they say is, well, it needs to tag into this system, and then it needs to go into this system to create that. And I'm like, the first thing you need to do is find a way to get that email out, and then it alert you in 3 days that they did not follow up with you, and you need to do some work.
Right.
And they created that agent in 45 minutes to be able to do it. Now when she sends out the email, it alerts her in Team that the email is out, and then if someone replies, she gets alerted. And now they're working on the piece that in 3 days, if she doesn't get anything back, it's going to send a thing to her to say either call the person or follow up, and then use AI to draft the follow up.
Yeah, and in this case, we're talking, that's a great use of it right now. It's a great use to be able to do it. And in our case, 99% of the time that somebody doesn't pay us, what do they say? I didn't receive it. You know, it might be in their junk mail, right? Or I'm not receiving the invoices, or you're sending them to the wrong place. And if we keep sending invoices and we don't follow up with a phone call, It's
You
like
never know.
you're never going to get there, or text or something, right? You know, and
That's why it's so the 2 email and a phone call. That's why that's the process.
That's the process.
Now.
Yeah, just do it, right? And now you can automate that, right, to remind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck,
That's
eventually
awesome.
you could probably have it make the phone call for you. You can have it
Start dialing, right?
You can have it automatically start pulling that information, but that's what they're waiting for, is like try to pull the invoice information out of our QuickBooks and stuff like that. I'm like, well, let's start small
Yeah, you don't even need that.
and then build from there. You know, like let's figure it out small, not go with the grand scheme of it running our whole business.
Right.
So
Absolutely. It's do a task after the fact. You know, some of it's not replacing a human.
right.
If I can just pull it out of QuickBooks and have somebody call, then it's going to replace a position. That's not what AI does. It just helps you be more efficient.
Exactly, and get your job done and make you a little bit smarter in the end too.
Yep.
You're not just a drone making phone calls and emailing all the time.
All right. I think we beat this dead horse, right? So, anyways, thanks for listening. And, I would adopt some type of AI. I think Copilot's a great start, and people should be looking at it.
Hey, we got training. We'll give it to you. Drop a comment. See you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Unique computing solutions. Your IT challenges solved.